Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining. It's Thursday evening and it's Easter weekend. So here in the UK, we actually have a 4-day weekend. I don't know if it's the same for everywhere else. And actually, let me not share my screen for a second. I should put this one on. If you look at my big screen, actually, what I've been doing is watching my stream from yesterday. It's really, really hard to actually watch yourself and listen to yourself. I'm talking. And yeah, change it to master. Let me turn that down a second. But yeah, it's really hard I want to learn from my mistakes and watch what I did and see how I can improve. And yeah, it's quite hard watching it. So it's about an hour and a half from yesterday, and it's taking me all day to watch. So I'm not listening. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause that, and I'm going to come back to that later. I just wanted you to know that I am watching my previous streams so I can learn from it and get better. But please do give me any feedback that you have. I think that would be really good to hear your thoughts, your ideas and your suggestions. So today, I don't have very long. I have probably maybe like 20-30 minutes, so I want to do something quite short and sweet. So what I was thinking of doing was demonstrating the work we did yesterday with GitHub and GitHub Pages, but demonstrate it with RevealJS. You might say, well, what is RevealJS? So remember all those PowerPoint presentations you have to do, where it's just dragging and dropping, and it's kind of like not very fun. And RevealJS solves that problem for a techie, even someone who's getting into tech. It's just a little bit of HTML, because the CSS and JavaScript is done for you unless you want to customize it further. So let's see, what we can do. So if I create a new repo, and we saw this yesterday. Actually, let me share my screen. Again, see, I need more practice. So if I share my screen and if I just create a new repo, and we will call it Twitch RevealJS demo. Live streaming RevealJS alternative to PowerPoint presentation. Okay, it's gonna be public, and I think that's pretty much it. Let's create the repo. Okay, so we've got a repo here. So what we want to do in another tab is actually, I'll show you what RevealJS is. So looking at my screen, let me make it full screen so you can see. And if we go, if the actual website is, I think, using RevealJS, which is pretty cool. So if I go right, you can see at the bottom right, I have a left and a right arrow. And along the bottom, you'll see, actually you can just see it just under the logo of Dashboard Hub. You can see like a progress bar. And we move along to the next slide, the progress bar jumps along further still. So you also can do your slides going down, so that you're going across is like the main sections, and then going down is going into the sections. It's quite nice to follow, because then you can kind of hit escape and you get to see an overview of your slides. I mean, I love this. Not only do you get the open source side, so if someone wants to make a contribution to it, or you make a change, your slides are versioned. Oh, it's just amazing for so many reasons. So I'm just gonna go through this. Yes, you can go back up, go right across. I mean, there's so many things it can do, and I'm going to show you how simple it is. I mean, you can, as it says here, you can even include Markdown, which I think is really, really good. So it can do everything PowerPoint does and better, basically, in a nutshell. But let's just that's pretty cool. That must be a new feature. Okay, let's just get started. So what I'm going to do is go to their GitHub, and I'm going to download their project. So I could fork it, but I mean, look how many contributors it has to the project. It has almost 40,000 stars. I know stars aren't necessarily contributors, but that's people watching the project, and I think that's pretty impressive. It's almost, I think that's the same as followers on Twitch or YouTube or Twitter. And then you've got forks, over 10,000 forks. It's people with the intent of contributing back to the project. So that's really good. So let's just download it. So we download the zip. There's a few different ways I could do this actually. Trying to think. You know what? Let's make it a bit more intelligent. So remember yesterday. So if you didn't watch yesterday, please, when you get a chance, watch yesterday's video. It will show you how to do pull requests and add remotes and all that sort of stuff. So there's a few ways we can do this. I could fork the repo and have it locally. Have it in my account, but without the intent of contributing back. That's okay. I don't like that personally myself because I'm not planning on contributing back. I just want to use it for my presentation slides. So another thing you could do is you could download it, create a repo, put all the code in there, and off we go. We could be a bit smarter. What we could do actually is we could clone our repo locally, and it will have a remote of origin, which is GitHub, and it'll be our repository. But we could also then add an upstream, which means I'm adding another remote, which is the original repo, which is kind of what a fork does. But we wouldn't have with the idea of pushing back to that upstream. We would have with the idea of only pulling from it. So any new updates that come in to RevealJS, I don't have to download it, drop it in, and find out what changes are theirs, what changes are mine. Git will do it all for me. Let's try that. I think that's quite smart, and I think we can just about do it in the time. The chat's really quiet, so if you do have any questions, please do ask. Ask me to talk a bit slower, faster. Any questions you have, do just say. So let me just check out their messages. I don't think I have. No, okay, no messages. All is good in the hood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clone my repo first. I'm going to go to the terminal. If I make this to the side, if I say git clone, and I just grab this URL that GitHub's given me, I clone it. It will ask me for a password. You won't have it in your one unless you set up SSH keys that way. It tells me it's an empty repo. That's fine. So if I go into that directory, it knows I'm in master. There's no files in there. That's fine. So what we want to do next is go to RevealJS. We want to say git remote -v, and it will say you have origin, which is the origin. If you look at the URL, it's where we cloned it from. But we want to be a bit smarter now. We want to go git remote add. We want to say upstream, and then I put in the URL that I just copied from RevealJS's repo. So now it's going to add a remote with the name upstream. Okay, so let's add it. So now if I do git remote -v, you can see two. I've got origin and I've got upstream. So as you can see, I have nothing in my directory still, nothing there. Git status is empty, and I do a list, it's also empty. So what we want to do next is we want to say git, we want to fetch the upstream. So say git fetch upstream. And again, it's asking me for my password because of the way my SSH keys are set up. Now it's going to bring down all of RevealJS with it. And if I do a git status, again, it will have nothing. But if I list the files in the directory, yes, it has nothing still because I've done a fetch, so it hasn't merged into my branch yet. So I could be offline now, and I could do this merge into my master, and I could carry on working. So what we need to do is, oops, I'm just going to search through my history because I always forget that command wrong. I want to fetch upstream. I want to merge upstream. There we go. So you say git merge upstream master. So from the upstream, which is the original RevealJS, we want to now merge it in to our master. So do a merge. Now if I do a git status, again, there should be nothing there. But if I do a list, I've got all of RevealJS's files. So if you look in my terminal, it should match what they have on the left. Okay, it's in a slightly different order, but they've got a contributing file, I've got a contributing file, and it's all their files. And I can prove it to you once more. If I do a git log, and I go to commits on the left in the browser, it should match, one hopes. Let's have a look. There you go, top one is Hakeem, and it was merge pull request 2097. You can see they match on the left and the right. Okay, so all is good. So now I have that. There's a few things we could do. We could push it up to our repo, and then we'll have their files in our repo. But let's make some changes first and do a commit. So if I just open Atom, so far so good, no technical issues. I've been streaming for under a week, and every time I've streamed, which is probably about 6 days, I've had technical issues from one thing or another. So this is good. So if I open index.html, and here you can see slide 1 and slide 2. This is how the slides work. So what I'm going to do is if I just go to Chrome, and I'll open a new window and I'll bring it over here. And in fact, if I say open show in Finder, then what I will do is I will open that file, the index.html in Chrome. I'll bring it across, make it a bit smaller actually, bear with me 1 second. Okay, you can see it says slide 1, and if I slide across it says slide 2, and the progress bar along the bottom goes to 100%. So let's make some changes. Let's do something really, really simple. Slide 1, and if we can say this is a Twitch demo. I just hit save. And so if I refresh it, it says Twitch demo, and I can use the arrow to go across to slide 2. So now I have some slides I can give a presentation from. But we want to take it a step further. We want to then also deploy it to GitHub pages, so therefore I don't have to worry about emailing a PowerPoint presentation or anything like that. And to anyone, I can just go to anyone's computer who's connected up to the projector and put in my GitHub pages URL, and I've got my slides. So it works cross-browser, it's beautiful. So let's just make it a bit smarter. So if I remember correctly, if I want some slides going down, then it is just HTML, and the section tags are used. So if I want to do a third slide, you just put it in a section tag, and then if you want to do more, we could say on slide 2, if we make that I don't know, H2, and to close that. For anyone who's just joined, do ask any questions, please, in the chat, and I will try my best to answer. I've just hit save. If I refresh this, again, the first slide is Twitch demo. If I move across, we're expecting slide 2 in description. There we go. And because it's just HTML, you can include images, links, very easy to do so. So what we'll do next, let's just get this up on GitHub, and so therefore you can be looking at it in your browser, and you can also make some contributions if you wish. So if I do a git status now, you will see that the index.html has been modified. And if I do a diff, we'll see what we've changed. So it will say slide 1 and slide 2 got removed, and it got replaced with Twitch demo, which is my first slide, and then slide 2 with the description, and then slide 3. So let's do a git commit. So it's git commit -m for my message, and we're just going to do a dot. You can do, it is usually better to list the files, index.html, but as I only have one that's changed, I can do a dot, which just does everything in my local working directory that is modified. So, okay, let me type in a message, created another slide. If I commit that, now I want to push it up to GitHub, so git push origin master. Type my password for my account. Okay, it's just going up. Thanks people for joining. Who have we got? We've got Cog Whistle, Lucas, and Parset. Any questions, please do join in. If you have any thoughts for future streams that I can do regarding coding, Angular, Node, serverless, AWS, APIs, those sorts of things, do let me know. So now I've pushed that up and that's gone up. We can go to my repo. If I refresh this, it will now have content in it, and the last commit was from me. So now we want to make sure this is available on GitHub pages so you all can actually see it locally. I'm just going to go to settings, and I showed this yesterday. So I went in this in more details, and I went around a few different options, and even some of the people watching did the same as well. So it was really quite interesting. So on settings, you scroll near to the bottom, it says GitHub pages, and it says none. So what we're going to do is just select master branch and hit save. And the first time you do it, it takes a few minutes to work. I've got a question, Parset. How the hell are you a senior dev and you don't have a pub private key for authoring to GitHub? Something personal. What do you mean? I have to type in my password when I push, so I do have a public and a private key. Otherwise, when I did a git push, it's a good question. Nothing personal. That's fine. It's good to get challenged. So when I do a git push, as you saw, it asks me for my password. I'm also verified on GitHub, so I do have a GPG key for my commits, but I don't have a password on that. So I didn't get asked for a password on that. And let me just open this in a new tab, and I'll come back to that in a second. So if I go to commits, you'll see that mine's verified and other people's on GitHub's aren't. So you can see that mine's verified with a GPG to my machine. So there's two things you can do. So you can do it, you should do both. So you need two-factor authentication for your account, otherwise people can change these potentially. And also I have a GPG key, so all my commits get signed, so they've been signed by a particular GPG key. And you get verified on GitHub. I highly recommend doing that. People know it's come from you. And also, if I do another commit and just demonstrate to Parset that I do have a public and private key. Because if you're going to do if I do a git remote -v, you'll see that I'm using SSL rather than HTTPS. So no worries. Fair enough question, and it's a good question because it got me to explain about my keys and GPG, which I was actually going to not do. So it works out well. It's fine, no worries. If I do another commit just to, actually, you know what? Let's just set the deployed first because I will do another commit in a minute. And let me see. So I've opened the other tab, and if you look at the URL, it's my name.github.io and then the name of the repo. And it's Twitch demo. And if I go across, it says slide 2 description, and it says slide 3. So that is deployed in the real world, and I'm going to share this in the chat. So if you want to click it and have a look, you can see that it is real and it's not on my machine. So let me make another change, and I'll show you it will deploy out pretty quick. So if I open Atom, and let's do another slide. So slide 4. Really boring. We can put images in. Would you like to see an image? It's just, I can get one on Google. So if I just go to google.com and say code image, I actually didn't need to type image, but if we just grab the URL for this, open image in new tab, if I just grab that and go back to Atom. Which reminds me to give feedback. You can zoom the terminal text a bit. Is it too small? Do you want me to make it a bit bigger? At least make the font size consistent with the font size in Atom. Yeah, I guess they're both just default sizes, but I can make this bigger, not a problem. Let me, how's that? Is that a bit too, is it about the same now? So, what were we doing? We were doing slide 4, and I was going to do a commit. So if I do a git commit, I'm going to do a dot again because, and to show you a trick as well, if you do Control U, it cuts from your terminal, and then when you want it back, you can do Control Y. So I'm just going to do Control U to cut it out, so I can just do a git status and check that I've only changed index.html. I'm happy with that, so I want to paste this back, and I want to say added another slide for Twitch stream. Commit that. Again, my GPG key, I've asked it to remember my password. Actually, not asked it to remember my password, I've asked it not to ask for a password. But when I do a push, it will ask for a password. And no, my password is not password1. So now I've pushed that up, it will appear on GitHub. If I refresh this, oh, wrong one. If I refresh this, you'll see my other commits now showing. If I go to RevealJS, it might not have deployed yet, so let's have a look. Slide 2, slide 3. So no, let's give it a few minutes. Okay, that's better size in the terminal, great. Okay, that's good to know for the future. Let's give it a minute, and hopefully this should still slide 3. Okay, we'll wait. It takes about a minute to deploy, so while we're deploying, I will show off my screens again. So, hope you like my setup. This is my command center. This is where I do all my work, and I love it. So when I go to hackathons, I'm actually going to start streaming on Twitch, being at the hackathon for the day or the weekend, and you'll see I'll be on a laptop. I'm very sad I don't have all my beautiful screens, all my beautiful cameras, middle and right. So yes, the dream setup. Yeah, it's good. When I have to work on a laptop, I do get a bit sad. So I just refreshed the link that I shared with you, and you can see now I've got slide 4. So it has deployed out, it has worked. The progress bar on the bottom has automatically updated, and you've got presentations. You've got a presentation that is done in HTML. Okay, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But in terms of you customizing it, you'd only have to do HTML if you want. You can customize it further if you want to change the styling. There are themes out there available for you, and you also add some more JavaScript if you need to. So that's all I wanted to show today. Really short and sweet to show that with GitHub Pages you get free hosting. With RevealJS you get presentations, and you don't have to worry about I need to email someone this PowerPoint or what's the Apple one? I forget. I'm on Apple, I should know. But oh, they want me to convert it to PowerPoint, and oh, they want the older version of PowerPoint, 97 or whatever archaic stuff Windows is using. And so this is to show you that you can do it in code, and you get all the open source benefits, and you get the benefits of it being cross-platform, so it will work in different browsers and different platforms, so that you can go use someone else's computer at the podium at the front when you're giving a presentation, not have to worry about taking a USB stick and have I remembered it, is it going to work? You can just go to this URL and done. You've got your presentation slides. So that's quite good. You can actually do speaker notes as well. So if I press S, okay, I haven't got any speaker notes, but you would put this one on a different screen, and it will give you the time of how long you're talking for. It will give you the next slide that's coming up. So if I press right, you can see on the left it says I'm on slide 2, and then it shows me what's coming up, and then you can do that. And you can even do awesome things like you can even change your slides, not at the computer, but from your phone or your tablet. So you don't even need a clicker. I mean, you can use a clicker, but it's really nice to be on your phone, having a speaker notes on your phone, and then just flicking through the slides as you're walking along stage. And people go, wow, how's he doing that from his phone? And it's on this big projector. So it's pretty cool. And everyone will come talk to you about it afterwards. It's really a real geeky kind of thing. And the techies will notice it a lot more and will appreciate it more. So it's good. But I think that's it for today. Are there any questions before I go? If I went very fast over anything, do let me know and we can cover it again. If you want to know more about doing commits, pull requests, and GitHub pages, look at the stream from yesterday. We did a lot of that. We interacted with the people watching, and they create pull requests. I approved them. I create pull requests on their repos, and we did that sort of thing. So it really was collaboration with lots of cool people in the community around the world. Venzra, you joined at the end, yes. So you'll have to watch it afterwards. It was a short one, less than 30 minutes. I unfortunately have to run off and go pick up my in-laws from the airport here for the Easter weekend. But it is Easter weekend, so I'm hoping to do a few early morning streams on some more technical stuff or more dashboard hub stuff. So yeah, more technical, maybe automated testing, Cucumber. Let's get into the more juicier technical stuff. So everyone, have a great weekend if I don't see you, but do subscribe, and then subscribe, that's the right one. Follow is the right one. Do follow so you get notified when I do come online over the weekend, and then we should be back to normal on Tuesday at 5:30 following our weekdays at 5:30 stream session. Awesome. Have a great evening everyone, and have a great weekend.